It may seem far removed from the awareness of 21st century suburban Pennsylvania, but the enterprise of shepherding in Judea was a big deal in the first century. In contrast with our idyllic pictures of shepherding in popular travel magazines, Judea was not a set of shepherding and neat continuous fields of lush green grass like rural Ireland or New Zealand. It may have been known as sheep country, but it was rugged sheep country. The grassland was patchy with entangling bushes and briars. Rocks, crags, and crevices were plentiful. So were wolves, bandits, and flash floods that could sweep the sheep away in a snap. A Judean shepherd had to be totally committed to the flock 24/7. That is why, I suppose, the shepherd entered Jewish theology as a cherished name for God. And that, I suppose, is why Jesus came to identify himself. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. His hearers readily appreciated what he meant. The experts tell us that Judean sheep actually knew their shepherd's voice. They followed that voice. They would follow no voice but his. Most of the time, shepherds were male, although we do have scriptural references to female shepherds. Rachel in Genesis 29 is a good example. In biblical times, sheepdogs were not used. Neither were whistles. The Judean shepherd spoke firmly and lovingly to the sheep. He gave each one a name. He called each one by name. He spoke to each lamb by name. And as they came into the sheep pen at the end of the day, the shepherd would use the staff to count each one of the sheep as they entered. It all suggests a great familiarity and a great commitment between the shepherd and the vulnerable flock. What does this mean for each one of us here today? Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. That little phrase is packed with promise. Martin Luther said that in the word shepherd is gathered all the good things we know about God. The crucified and risen Lord knows you through and through, and he also loves you through and through. In this world of anonymity and mass consciousness, the Good Shepherd calls you by name. I am the Good Shepherd. I am your Good Shepherd. In the snags and in the celebrations, I am your Good Shepherd. In the valleys and upon the heights, I am your Good Shepherd. In sickness and in health, I am your Good Shepherd. Through sin and sanctification, I am your Good Shepherd. When you get lost in the flock and when you find yourself astray from the flock, I am still your Good Shepherd. Brothers and sisters, savor and delight in this promise this morning. Bask in this promise. Jesus Christ is your Good Shepherd and mine. And that is super good news for us today. The little phrase in our gospel text is packed with promise. It is also fortified with mission. When Jesus says, I am the Good Shepherd, he is also saying, I am shepherding you into serving as one of my under-shepherds. Most of you may know, but the word pastor means shepherd. Over the years, when I have sent pastoral letters, sometimes I've said, Sincerely yours, the under-shepherd under the good shepherd. A challenge comes with the promise. The shepherd's downreach to us creates the impulse for outreach within us. On the one hand, we are the Lord's flock and loving 24/7 responsibility. On the other hand, we are all under-shepherds, each of us entrusted with responsibility for a share of Christ's flock as our own. This is the valuable doctrine, Lutheran doctrine of the calling of all the baptized. Parish pastors have their flock. Yeah, after 2 years, I'm still trying to figure out who they are. How many are there? Mom and Dad have their little flock at home. My neighbors on the street, the people with whom I work, and the children in my classroom are my flock. The guy who's the crossing guard in front of the elementary school is a shepherd, caring for the little flock going across the street. Now that's a challenge. The Good Shepherd loves us into participating in the shepherding mission. Oh, how the relationship between the promise and challenge is so well put in an old prayer. God of all power, you called from death our Lord Jesus, the great shepherd of the sheep. Send us as shepherds to rescue the lost, to heal the injured, and to feed one another with knowledge and understanding. There's the essence of the Christian life, brothers and sisters. Jesus Christ, the crucified and risen Lord, promises to be our good shepherd. And whatever we can do to remind ourselves of that fact is fantastic. My parents who live in Florida, for years they've kept in the bedroom in their home that famous painting of Jesus Christ holding the lamb over the back of his shoulders. We need to keep that image before us in our prayer life each and every day. The shepherd promises to know and love us. He promises to feed and care for us. He promises to gather us when we stray. He promises to set us upon right paths when we wander. I am the good shepherd. What a promise. But this promise also propels and includes us in that shepherding mission. The promise moves us outward to rescue the lost. The promise opens us up to heal the injured. The promise gathers us together to feed one another with knowledge and understanding. Hallelujah. Here we are, shepherded by the Good Shepherd to participate in that shepherding mission of rescuing, healing, feeding, and encouraging. Promised into a compelling mission. Sustained as we carry out the mission with the promise of the one who has already laid down his life to give new life to all the sheep. Thanks be to God.
Amen.